We'll start with 7 realities today. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Mohammed, you want to read?
हाँ, हाँ।
Please.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. The 7 realities: existence, love, sacrifice, renunciation, knowledge, control, and surrender. I give no importance to creed, dogma, caste, or the performance of religious ceremonies and rites, but to the understanding of the following. The only real existence is that of the one and only God, who is the self in every finite self. The only real love is the love for this infinity God, which arouses an intense longing to see, know, and become one with its truth, God. The only real sacrifice is that in which, in pursuance of this love, all things, body, mind, position, welfare, and even life itself are sacrificed. The only real renunciation is that which abandons, even in the midst of worldly duties, all selfish thoughts and desires. The only real knowledge is the knowledge that God is the inner dweller in good people and in so-called bad, in saints and in so-called sinners. This knowledge requires you to help all equally as circumstances demand, without expectation of reward. When compelled to take part in a dispute, to act without the slightest trace of enmity or hatred, to try to make others happy with brotherly or sisterly feeling for each one, and to harm no one in thought, word, or deed, not even those who harm you. The only real control is the discipline of senses to abstain from indulgence in low desires, which alone ensures absolute purity of character. The only real surrender is that in which poise is undisturbed by any adverse circumstance, and the individual, amidst every kind of hardship, is resigned with perfect calm to the will of God. Avatar Meher Baba
Avatar
Ki
Meher
Jai.
Baba Ki Jai. Thank you so much for starting off the session with the reading. Let's go right into God Speaks. We ended on page 136. That was session 35. We will continue from that point on. Here, Baba's talking about the levels of consciousness. We were reading about Majzub, Sulukiyat, and we went and had 2 references, both from the supplement as well as, I think, we went to discourses. Continue now. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. There are, however, certain cases when a man in a particular plane is sometimes completely drowned in and absorbed by the fascination of the experiences of the plane and behaves like a majzub, and at other times he regains his poise and behaves like an ordinary normal salik of the plane. Such a man on the plane is said to be a majzub salik of the plane if the predominant behavior is that of a majzub, and a salik majzub of the plane if the predominant behavior is that of a salik. Right? So I think this is worthy of being underlined. So it's basically alternating behavior. Such a state in illusion may be compared with the Turiya Avastha at the divine junction in reality. Now, Turiya Avastha is also shown in this Turiya Avastha. Yeah, divine junction, right? This is the divine junction, and he's between Sulukiyat and Madzubiyat. In Sulukiyat, let's go back. There's a bug. Yeah. So in Sulukiyat, he behaves like an ordinary, normal salik of the plane, right? And in a Madzub, he's disconnected with creation consciousness. Let's continue. Such a state, okay, that's the line about Turiya Avastha, but I'll read it again. Such a state in illusion may be compared with the Turiya Avastha at the divine junction in reality. So it's just an analogical reference to the divine junction, not that all Madzub Saliks are here. They are similar to being in the divine junction. I continue. The third type of Fana Baka is of the seventh plane of the final involution of consciousness and is the real Fana Phila of the reality and the real Baka Bila of the divinity. When the impressioned consciousness of individualized life is totally and finally re- relieved of all impressions of the illusion, and when this unburdened or impressionless individualized biggest self consciously passes away in the original divine absolute vacuum to gain the fana phila or the I am God state, the goal is finally attained. This is the state of real Madzubiyat. Okay, this is the third type of Fana Baka, and you have a supplement reference in 23. Let's go there.
Yeah.
242. Okay, there are 5 algebraic definitions. The first one, God is equal to infinite existence plus infinite knowledge plus infinite bliss minus unconsciousness. Sat Chit Anand minus unconsciousness equal to Sachidanand minus unconsciousness. Now, what is unconsciousness here? Right? But come back to it. Number 2, perfect master equal to Kutub equal to Sadguru, which is equal to infinite existence plus infinite knowledge plus infinite bliss plus consciousness. Okay, so here you're enjoying the Satchidanand status, but you do not have unconsciousness. You are conscious, but you're not having full consciousness. When you have full consciousness, then you are a perfect master. Then the next one is
They
equal
term
to
unconscious minus unconsciousness, the different entities. You say either unconscious or conscious, but what do you actually mean by minus unconscious?
minus. So it's different. You're right. So it's
Different.
3 things. You can be with consciousness, you can be without consciousness, and without unconsciousness. So when you are without unconsciousness, but you have reached Satchidanand, that is God. So basically, it's a conscious experience. It's a conscious experience, but it does not have big C consciousness. Big C consciousness also reflects to the existence of being able to relate to creation and bigger reality at the same time, which is not possible, I think, in the God state, which is correct because you're just in the God state. And there is no unconsciousness because you have been through the journeys. So it's a conscious experience. You are conscious of the God state, whereas you are not conscious of big C consciousness, which allows you to see both reality or bigger reality and illusion at the same time. That's my understanding. But let's just go ahead and see the other definitions and see if we get some other reading of this. Number three, savior equal to perfect man
No, the
equal.
other line you have to read. Conscious.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the third equivalence in the second condition equal to conscious of being infinite and conscious of finite simultaneously, which is
So,
the same as being able to connect to bigger reality, rather not connect, being able to experience and be aware of at the same time of both bigger reality and illusion, right? So that is for infinite and finite. Now, let's go to the third category, third equivalence, savior equal to perfect man, equal to insan e kamil, equal to puratana purush, equal to Buddha, equal to Sahib e Zaman, equal to Rasul, equal to Avatar, equal to living Christ. All these terms are equal, but they are above Sadguru, right? So, Insan e Kamil is Avatar, Puratan Purush is Avatar, Sahib e Zaman is Avatar. So here, this is, I'm noticing it for the first time, but maybe this is consistently used by Baba. So perfect man is differentiated between perfect master. It's a small but subtle distinction. So this is like the God man, man God usage. So perfect master is man God, and God man is perfect man. Then Rasul is what the Islam calls the avatar, and then you have the avatar, and you have a living Christ, right? All of them are equally, I mean, equivalences. Now we'll see the statement. The statement is infinite existence plus infinite knowledge plus infinite bliss plus consciousness. So exactly the same as perfect master. Then third one, the conscious of being infinite and conscious of being finite simultaneously. So these two are exactly the same. And that's not surprising because the only difference is who experiences this. Avatar comes back again and again, whereas this is from the journey. Select souls get through the process to this. And second distinction is Avatar becomes, whereas Perfect Master is acting. These are again from what we have read till now, right? So now, so this is Insan e Kamil. Okay, let me just mark out that these two are same. Okay, let's go to number 4. This is all of us. Huh? Number 4, man or Jivatma or Insan equal to body plus energy in the subtle energy. And I mean, he is not aware of it, but yeah, subtle world. mind through the mental world, plus consciousness, plus soul. So here there is the identified separation of the soul, but he is obviously full C conscious, and he is aware of what he is experiencing through body, through energy, and mind. So this is, I think, a very good distinction. Body, mind, consciousness, and soul. Okay. Now, Majzub-e-Kamil. Majzub-e-Kamil is divine I equal to divine consciousness minus finite consciousness. So he's aware of the big C divinity. I mean, he's connected and aware of the big R reality, divine consciousness, but he does not have finite consciousness. So this is a type of Majzub who has reached the seventh plane, who is aware of divine consciousness, and he is minus finite consciousness. So let's underline this as well. Okay. Okay. Any thoughts? Any
Come back
questions? I'm
to
still confused about this one a little bit. What is minus unconsciousness? So
when we
because
say consciousness, there are two types of consciousness. One is the consciousness of the creation that all of us are having.
correct,
And we grow this consciousness into the consciousness of divinity or the God status. So
correct,
that is the only distinction. But whereas the God state, the beyond state, you cannot qualify that as unconscious or conscious. So that may be the one referred to here, minus unconsciousness also. Is it so? Not clear about it.
Yeah, I am not clear. That's for sure. So we'll have to think a little more and also ask or find some references where this is discussed to understand this better, I would say. Okay, let's continue.
In the second stage, the
Mm-hmm.
consciousness is divided into conscious of being infinite and conscious of finite simultaneously by the
Correct,
perfect master.
correct,
So there are two types of consciousness where we are all right now in the first level of consciousness. That creation consciousness is full with us.
Hmm.
The consciousness of the God state or divinity is yet to establish completely with us.
Correct. Yeah, but minus consciousness is still confusing. Okay, so I will be honest, but we will check it out. 1 second. Okay, I'm struggling to put this box, which can wait. Let's get back to the reading after the supplement. Okay. Now, Baba continues, the only but infinite difference between the fanas of all the different individualized species and states of illusory life and the final and real fana of the divine life is that in the former, the consciousness is nil, while in the latter, full consciousness prevails. So in the other kingdoms, the fanas that you experience are without full consciousness. because they have not reached the human state, which is where the full consciousness is. Whereas in the human state, yeah, go ahead, you're saying something.
No, go ahead.
Yeah,
Didn't hear.
yeah. So I think the only thing is here it says consciousness is nil, whereas I would say it's growing and not zero, right? But in the human state, it's fully conscious, right? You're saying something?
Yeah, you can read that once again. The way that nil is made bold also.
Correct. Correct.
And read it once again.
Sure,
Second.
sure. The only but infinite difference between the phanas of all the different individualized species and states of illusory life and the final and real phana of the divine life is that in the former, the consciousness is nil, while in the latter, full consciousness prevails. Now, let's just see the first. Uh, yeah. So this is the first type of fana. We'll just see it. Yeah. I'm trying to find the fana in the kingdoms. Right. Yeah. Here it is. Just as this is the first type of fana. Just as the rudimentary first type of fana and baka includes all the individualized fanas and bakas of dogs, horses, camels, elephants, of all creatures and human beings that live the phenomenal false life of illusion in the gross world, so also the second type of fana and baka of the plains on the path includes all the individualized fana bakas of each and all on every plane from the first through the sixth planes of the illusory, subtle, and mental worlds. There's no reference to consciousness, which is what I was looking for. So, this is why we stopped with step. Okay, but let's see if there's a reference here. Okay, here's something that's interesting. Uh, if you read this paragraph, although the fana is always the same in both the evolving consciousness, now the references to the kingdoms, right? That's where the evolving consciousness sits. And the involving consciousness, yet it is the type of impressions of illusion with which the consciousness is impregnated while abiding in illusion during the awake state that really matters. And that does create the differentiation when passing away in the sound sleep or in the state of fana. The only distinction between, sorry, this is the distinction between the passing away to the sound sleep state or in the state of fana, right? So, for example, the fana of an animal or a creature in the sound sleep state passing away in the absolute vacuum with its own particular impressions of illusion differs completely from the fana of a human being in the sound sleep state passing away in the absolute vacuum with his own particular impressions of illusion. Similarly, the impressions of illusions of an ordinary human being will be quite different. Yeah, this is just the difference is brought out. So I think consciousness being nil in the kingdom, I'm going to mark out with a question because I don't get it, right? So where did we see that? Nil, yeah. Yeah, is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah. It's- After the state, I'm continuing reading. After the state of Fana Phila, the state of Baka Bila is established by some individualized selves to live the life of God as man God on the earth. So it is only some. This is the key word here. Not everybody comes back to Baka Bila. Such a man God lives at one and the same time in all states of life and in all planes, the life of man in illusion, knowing illusion as illusion, and of God in big R reality. This is the state of real Sulukiyat. So now, real Sulukiyat is living at the same time in both illusion and in God state. Okay, let's continue. After attaining the state of Fana Phila, oh, what happened? All my markings were there. Just one second. Yeah, I'm continuing reading. After attaining the state of Fana Phila and before establishing the state of Baka Phila, there is also a state of Turiya Avastha at the divine junction between Fana Phila and Baka Phila. In this state, there is sometimes the experience of real Matsubiyat of the Fanafila and sometimes the experience of real Sulukiyat of the Bakabila. This is the state of the real Matsub Salik or Salik Matsub, as the case may be. And the reference we have, I mean, this is a repetition of this paragraph. So Matsub Salik and Salik Matsub is explained again here, right? Which is you are in the Turiya Avastha, similar to being in the Turiya Avastha, where you can either go towards real Sulukiyat or you can go towards Matsubiyat. Let's continue. The consciousness of the false mind, false limited I, which was there before Fana, matured through the process of involution, and the limited false I was replaced by the real unlimited I in Fanafila. In Bakabula, this matured consciousness is now focused once again and is fixed on the I as the real unlimited I, on the mind as universal mind, on energy as unbounded energy, and on the body as the universal body called the Mahakarana Sharira. An important fact must be noted here that in the state of Vakabila, simultaneously, the same consciousness is also focused and fixed on the limited I, mind, energy, and body. Wherefore, the Salik consciously experiences the false as falsity with the false and the real as big R reality with the big R real. So it's being emphasized that the experiences are simultaneous. It is emphasized that you experience these three things, which is mind as universal mind, energy as unbounded, big U, unbounded energy, and on the body as big U, universal body. So, which is also given a Vedantic name, which is Mahakarana Sharira. Okay, let's continue. Consequently, in God's state of Baka Bila, the same consciousness simultaneously experiences the dual experiences of I am God and I am human. Along with this dual experience, the same consciousness spontaneously also experiences, without break, the infinite knowledge, power, and bliss of God, along with the experiences of the weaknesses and sufferings of humanity. So the I am God state comes with the infinite knowledge, power, and bliss. And the I am human state comes with the weaknesses and sufferings of humanity. It follows that in God's state of Bakabila, God, in the form of an ordinary human being, establishes himself in his divine life, or man abides in the life of God. In short, Bakabila is that state of God where abiding in or getting established in God is experienced by those who are defined as Saliks or Jivan Muktas. I repeat this before we go to the supplement. In short, Bakabila, the final Bakabila, is that state of God where abiding in or getting established in God is experienced by those who are defined as Saliks. Saliks are those on the path, or Jivan Muktas. And there are two supplement references which we can go and check out now. Oh, did we finish the whole? Yeah, we finished. Yeah. Okay, let's go to 24. The four types of mukti or liberation. And if you remember in the last conversation, Kama was last Sunday, Kama was referring to different types of liberation, right? So this is the explanation of the four types of mukti or liberation. This is supplement 24. Certain well-known terms to describe various types of perfection are stated here briefly so that the seeker may fit into the framework of the subject of God realization. In describing these types of perfection, the keyword mukti, which literally means liberation, is used here to define four types of liberation. So, firstly, it's only liberation. There are four types of liberation. In the following table, all the four types of liberation, mukti of the soul, belong to the seventh plane. First one is ordinary mukti, ordinary moksha, also called ordinary moksha. So, first one, ordinary mukti, in the Sufi terms, it is called najat, is achieved only after death by some exceptionally God-fearing, truth-loving, good souls. And this mukti usually comes 3 to 5 days after the soul has left the body. Since this mukti is attained without the body, the individual soul enjoys only bliss. And although power and knowledge are there, such a mukta cannot experience them. Such a liberated soul is conscious only of the bliss of union, and for him, creation no longer exists, thereby bringing to an end the constant round of births and deaths. Baba goes on, Nirvikalpa Samadhi must not be confused with this ordinary mukti or moksha state. Should a soul reach the mukti state, it does so after death of the physical body. Such a soul reaches God, but this occurs only after death. Thus, there is an important distinction between ordinary mukti on the one hand and nirvikalpa samadhi on the other, because the latter is experienced while the soul retains the body and thus becomes videha mukta, which is if you experience nirvikalpa samadhi, the type of mukti is videha mukti, which is explained below. Number two. So is number one clear? So one is you are no longer aware of creation, though your individualized soul exists. You enjoy bliss. You do not have a capacity, and hence do not enjoy knowledge and power. I mean, infinite bliss, but we do not have a way to enjoy infinite power and bliss. I mean, power and knowledge.
No,
And uh, yeah, you don't have to come back. That's another thing. So let's mark out the three things. Um, so first is it happens 3 to 5 days. Soul enjoys only bliss. Okay, cannot experience them. Creation no longer exists, and constant round of uh, births and deaths is ended for him. Okay.
conscious only of bliss of union. That's all.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, that's important. Yeah. So this is again a tiny doubt. The tiny doubt is now let's say I am not reaching mukti and I am between one uh, body and before I get the next body and I have not reached mukti. Okay. So for him, does creation exist or not?
No, here it is you are out of the cycle of birth and death.
That's fine. I'm asking a general question. Somebody dies today, right? And God bless his soul, he does not deserve mukti. Okay. So he goes to the heaven on hell state and then comes back. Correct?
Yes.
So to him, technically, do we say creation no longer exists when the body is dropped, or for him, creation exists, only he is not conscious of it because the body is not there. That's the way we should imply based on what we're reading here, isn't it?
So that's why the consciousness is of viewed as a type of two types. One created consciousness
Correct.
or God consciousness.
Reality consciousness, bigger.
Yes.
Okay, so that makes sense. And this, as I said, it's a minor doubt. Let's go to the next one. Videha Mukti. Number two. Is that the one? Yeah. Number two is Videha Mukti. Some God realized souls, known as Videha Muktas, retain the body for 3 or 4 days after becoming realized. Their consciousness is
What is the
merged.
meaning of the word videha?
Videha is without body, actually. So it's a bit confusing. I remember this
That's a bit
confusion even in the past.
fine.
Yeah. I'll just check and confirm if I am right. B is only to say it is absent, and deha is body. So let's see. In Sanskrit, deha, bodiless. Yeah, devoid of form. Can also refer to free of desire and to state of one living without disturbance. Oh, 35 definitions. Okay. Uh, is a country, ancient kingdom, Vedic literature as Shatapata Brahmanam. Okay. This is, yeah, Vedanta. Videha refers to one living as if without a body. An ancient text of spirituality dealing with Advaita Vedanta, according to Ashtavakra says to Janaka, he who is born functions like a dead leaf, there is neither joy, he lives always with the peace of God, as if without a body. No, without, it's just without a body. So let's come back. So that's a little confusing because he is, when he gets it, he is having a body. That's what this suggests.
Yes.
Some God realized souls, known as Videha Muktas, retain the body for 3 or 4 days after becoming realized. Their consciousness is merged completely in their own big R, real, big S, big self, God, and they are not therefore conscious of their bodies or of creation. They experience constantly the infinite bliss, power, and knowledge of God, their own biggest self now, but they cannot consciously use them in big C creation, nor help others to attain liberation. Nevertheless, their presence on earth for the few days they remain there is a bliss,
He is
is a
a
center
mentor.
for, is a center for the radiation of the infinite power, knowledge, and bliss of God, and those who approach them, serve them, and worship them are immensely benefited. Others retain the body for years according to the momentum of their prarabdha. The Videha Mukta is the Brahmi Bhoot or the Majzub e Kamil of the Sufis, and he experiences the triune nature of God, Satchit Anand, automatically. Okay, now I have some reference I want to show here. So if you go to Lud's chart, I want to see, you'll see the full page here. We'll see the full page here. I wanted to look for, sorry, we are coming from the supplement, Majzub e Kamil and Brahmi Booth. Yesterday I was looking at this, and the Brahmi Booth is, he is in the seventh plane. Ah, here it is. Majzub e Kamil or Brahmi Booth in the seventh plane. He is divinely absorbed, and like we just heard, it's Brahmi Booth, and it's the end of divine journey. Now, yeah, so that's where you are. So it's after Fana Fila, you get to the from, I mean, if you're coming through the route of Masti, from the path of intoxication, you get to Brahmi Booth. But even if you retain, but you retain the body only for 3 days. So Videha Mukta, according to me, from my, I mean, after we read the dictionary meaning of Videha, why Videha is used is, I think, because the body is dropped after 3 days.
Dropped
Is
is
that a bit
after 3 days, but they are also not conscious of the body
creation?
creation,
So yeah, they are not creation conscious, but they cannot
but
create
live in
anything.
that body. That is the
Ah,
difference.
the body continues for 3 days. Yeah. Okay. Now let's mark out what's specifically. Therefore, conscious of their bodies. So this is the key. Okay. They experience. They cannot consciously use them, and they remain only for a few days. So I think I'll mention few days here just to underline that, but the word is a bit confusing. So others retain the body for years according to the momentum of their prarabdha. The Videha Mukta is the Brahmi Bhut or the Majzube Kamil of the Sufis, and he experiences the triune nature of God, Satchidanand, automatically. So we'll just mark out these two so that we remember. Okay. Yeah, this is just in case they end up keeping it for longer. If they keep it for longer, after they drop it, it becomes without the body, right? After they drop the body, but they are not conscious of creation. That's key. Okay, let's continue. Number 3, the Jivan Mukta, Azad e Mutlak, in Turiya Avastha, Fana Ma al Baka, enjoys all bliss, all knowledge, and all power, and his consciousness is of the I am God state and also of the three spheres, the gross, subtle, and mental. But being without duty, he does not use the bliss, knowledge, and power for others. So, do we assume? Yes. So, I think he's creation conscious now, creation conscious, but he has no role. So, he enjoys all bliss, all knowledge, and all power. He is in the I am God state. He is in the body, but he does not have any duty. Is that the way to understand this?
So this is the sort of a magnified Videha Mukta. But the only thing is he is conscious of the body also.
Conscious of the body. Yes, conscious of the body. But he stays in this state for longer than the Videha Mukta,
Yes.
right? But he is not having any duty. Whereas even in the Videha Mukta, just by serving a Videha Mukta, others are benefited, right? That was
Yes.
brought out there. So here he has no role to perform. It's just his personal enjoyment of all bliss, all knowledge, and all power. And he is aware of the body. Now let's see where Jivan Mukta comes here.
There on top.
Yeah, here, right? So liberated incarnate, most perfect one is above. So okay, think we have to spend time and understand this, which is what I'm
Uh,
trying to work on, getting a copy and uh, getting to a more comfortable with this
what
because
I understand is we have to start from the below and then
correct,
move
correct,
above.
correct,
And lateral sites are the different terminologies from different sources, like say uh, Vedanta and Sufi and all that. So it's
correct.
all moves as a move upward
From
from bottom to
yes,
top.
Correct. But even on the lateral movement, I mean the lateral classifications, it's not. So there is, so the red is Vedanta, blue is Sufi,
Ah,
and
black
but
is
so
the
it's there both left and right. So you have Vedanta and Sufi terms everywhere, but there is a logic there also on what comes left, what comes right. So if you see here, certainties, existences, manifestations, unifications. So these are what you see, right? And then, so there is a lot of, we have to understand this by spending more and more time on it and reading and connecting to what we have understood till now and then crack it. Very useful. And let's not forget, it's blessed by Baba. So it's checked, corrected, and hence it will be a very, very solid reference. Do you use a Mac? So I just upgraded my OS, and preview is so buggy, it's unbelievable.
uh-huh.
Yeah, so I upgraded and so many bugs, as you can see. Okay, now let's go to 4. Parama Mukta. Parama Mukta, which is the 4th category. So till now we have seen ordinary Mukti or ordinary Moksha, Videha Mukti, or the person who leaves after 3-4 days. Third, we saw the Jivan Mukta, who's around longer. He experiences God state and he has nothing to do with creation and no role to perform. He's just in his own world, right? He's what do you call the he's a selfish dude. He enjoys God's state, but he has no role that he has to do, and he's just there. But he deserves to get to where he's got, and he is enjoying it in body. Okay, number 4, the Paramamukta. The Paramamukta, who is known as the perfect master, Kutub or Sadguru, comes back to normal consciousness after God realization and is simultaneously conscious of the I am God state and the 3 relative existences and their corresponding spheres. He not only enjoys all power, all knowledge, all bliss, but uses them in all the planes of existence through the universal mind and the universal body. So, what are the 3 relative existences and their corresponding spheres? Okay, it's just GSM, correct? So, you are either in gross, subtle, or mental, and their corresponding spheres are the gross sphere, mental sphere, and the ma- I mean, gross sphere, subtle sphere, and mental sphere.
That's
Such
why he is able
Paramamuktas,
to. That's why he is able to say help all those who are in the different levels of the path.
correct. So, is Paramamukta word used to equal in the equivalence that we saw for perfect master? No. So I would suggest we should add that so that we also get comfortable again and again. So, right. So this is also Paramamukta, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What? Yeah. Okay. Let's continue and read the second paragraph. Such Paramamuktas are conscious of themselves as God, both in his unmanifest and manifest aspects. They know themselves both as the unchangeable divine essence, Zat, and as the infinitely varied manifestations, Sifat. They experience themselves as God apart from creation and as God, the creator, preserver, and destroyer, and as God who has accepted and transcended the limitations of creation. This means that such a one is conscious of every one of the 10 states of God shown on the chart facing page 158. Page 158. Okay. Let's come back to 138. I think this is 158. Yeah. 10 states of God. So each of these states simultaneously he is there. So beyond, manifest, attributeless, formless, and because of being in all states of consciousness at the same time, he is right there through all the states of evolution and involution, right?
But is he in the beyond state also?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was reading. I was
No.
thinking,
The ability.
but the supplement says yes. So supplement says this means that such a one is conscious of every one of the 10 states of God, and very clearly, uh, uh, we'll go to this chart. Yeah. So if you go to the 10 states, one of the 10 states is the beyond as well.
Yes,
Yeah. So we have to take it as that.
yes.
Yeah. Now, see what I mean? The bug. So now I have to change it to something and then say hi. Then it goes. Ridiculous. Apple, wake up.
Hmm?
The bug. Yeah. Now, the second paragraph. The Paramamukta constantly experiences and uses the absolute peace and perfection of the trio nature of God, Sat Chit Anand. He fully enjoys and suffers the divine sport of creation. He knows himself as God in everything and is therefore able to help everyone spiritually and can make other souls realize God as any of the four types of mukta. He is indeed the helper of humanity in particular and of creation in general. So he constantly experiences and uses Satchit Anand. Also, he fully enjoys the divine sport of creation. He is able to help everyone spiritually and can make other souls any one of the four types. So he can also make someone a perfect master. He can promote somebody to a perfect master because that's the Paramamukta, one of the four states. Okay, so okay, now let's go to 25. Now it is Mukti, a summary of the four types of Mukti. Meher Baba summarizes these four types of Mukti in the following way. Type of Mukti, ordinary Mukti, Anand, bliss only, no consciousness of I am God or of duality. Duty in duality is zero. So this is basically a tabular description of the muktas and the four types of muktas. So ordinary mukti, videha mukti, jivan mukti, and parama mukti are there on the left side. Now we see the interpretation from a consciousness perspective. So again, I repeat, for ordinary mukti, he experiences anand, which is bliss only, no consciousness of I am God or of duality. So when you experience only anand, you do not get the I am God experience. So the
Yes.
I am God experience is the triune nature of God. So only when you experience all three together will you get the I am God experience. Is that a correct way to understand?
Yes. That's a clear distinction.
Correct. Whereas you come to the second one, the Videha Mukti, he enjoys the I am God state, Sat Chit Anand, or knowledge, power, and bliss, without consciousness of duality. But he also does not have any role in uh, creation. So the duty in duality is equal to no. But I would like to point out only one thing. If somebody does service to a Videha Mukta, he gets benefit. And that's from where we just read in Videha Mukta. Yeah, because he is a center for the radiation of the infinite power, knowledge, and bliss. And those who approach them, serve them, and worship them are immensely benefited. So, if there is a benefit, it is more because of the efforts of the others, not because of the duty towards creation that the Videha Mukta has. Like a perfect master has a role to push others. In the case of Videha Mukta, it's just the natural operation of the laws of karma, or the panorama of laws, where because you are serving a special soul, you get benefited. Right? I think let's understand it that way. Now go back to the table. Third category, Jivan
So
Mukta.
it says that it is passive helping the other,
Correct.
not
Passive
active.
helping. Yes, that's a good one. Passive helping or you shouldn't say unconscious. No, that's confusing. Passive is good. Passive or involuntary. I think passive is best. Passive helping. Jivan Mukti, third one. I am God, Satchit Anand, with consciousness of duality. So here he is also conscious of duality. Yeah, because he's conscious of creation, right? He's conscious of creation, but again, he has no duty. So he is enjoying the I am God state, Satchit Anand. He is enjoying the uh, I mean, not enjoying. He is aware of duality, but he absolutely has no role or duty, and hence he's by himself. Paramamukti, simultaneously, I am God with duality and divinity in action. Now, divinity in action is again the word Baba uses, the phrase Baba uses in discourses to describe the role and function of um, perfect masters. So let me do that. Okay, one more bug. I'm not able to underline now. Inside a table, I'm not able to underline. Okay, anyway, live with that. Um, and finally, most importantly,
Divinity
he
in
has
action.
duty. Sorry.
The, the radiation of the, the benefit that the people around him get it through the radiation, which is we thought it was passive, whereas this is active divinity in
Correct.
action.
Correct. It's very clearly divinity in action. And yeah, this is exactly like I said, the phrase Baba uses uh, in discourses as well. So, see also summary in 278 to 79. So, let's see that right away. 78. 65.
That's another chart.
Oh, this summary.
Not
Yeah.
realization by man. Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead with your thought. You had a question or a thought or a comment?
No, this is the chart. They just show this. God
Yeah, yeah.
realization by man.
Yeah. I'll go to charts file easier. Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
So here again, we will see where the muktas are, the four muktis. So you have the perfect master who has duty, and then you have the Jivan Mukta who enjoys Samadhi with consciousness of Tribhuvan being the three states. Uh, and what is this category? Stage or aspect is Turiyavastha, and Shivoham with Jivoham. Then you have this is the Madzub Salik or Salik Madzub, which is Paramahamsa. And the then there is Brahmibhut. But here there is no reference to ordinary mukti. So here the only comparable sar or the cross references are for Jivan Mukta and Sadguru. Whereas the other two, Videha Mukta and ordinary mukti, are not described here. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Did you have another comment to make or something? The same something?
No, the same thing.
Okay.
I opened the book here. That's why.
Okay. Oops. Uh, that went away. Okay. That's where we went to see about Jivan Mukta. Let's continue. The Salik continually and continuously experiences simultaneously the dual experience of the I am God state
Consciously. The sonic continually and
and
consciously.
consciously. Yeah. This, sorry, I read the second word wrongly. The Salik continually and consciously experiences simultaneously the dual experience of the I am God state and I am human state and accumulates infinite knowledge, power, and bliss, simultaneously experiencing human weaknesses and sufferings, knowing their falsity to be based on the manifestation of the finite big in nothing that manifests out of his own state of being everything and infinite. So the other analogy and language of nothing and everything is also brought out here. So simultaneously, he understands the falsity of the finite big nothing, which is nothing but that something that came out of the big E everything and infinite. In Bakabila, the life of God in human being established, man as God experiences the Sahaj Samadhi. This means that man as God simultaneously, without the least effort, has continually and automatically the dual experience of God and of man. This is the state of perfection. Now, if you go to 278 to 79, this is equated to Sahaj Samadhi and Jivan Mukta. Why? Because you're experiencing both and you. So here there's a little confusion. So here you're saying perfect one, right? Perfect one. I mean, this is the state of perfection. So it's a state of perfection, but not to be confused as a state of perfect master. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is also for our reference, Jivan Mukta. Okay. Perfection generally carries with it the sense of the highest pitch of or the extreme type of accomplishment, and perfection cannot become more perfect. Perfection, big P, as such, cannot become more perfect. But when the term big P perfection is used in terms of divinity, there are three types of perfection in the state of sulukiyat or baka bila. So there is a distinction even within perfection. With the rider that you cannot have distinction. So again, I'll read that paragraph. Perfection generally carries with it the sense of the highest pitch of or the extreme type of accomplishment. And perfection as such cannot become more perfect. But when the term perfection is used in terms of divinity, there are three types of perfection in the state of sulukiyat or pakabila. So now let's see the three states. First type is known as Kamil, the perfect one. The second type is known as Akmal, the most perfect one. The third type is known as Mukammil, the supremely perfect one. Kamil, Akmal, and Mukammil. So, is it safe to say that it is a gradation?
Looks like
Level 1, level 2, level 3.
that.
Now, let's read further. There is absolutely no difference whatsoever in their continual and conscious experience of the eternal big R reality, but the degrees of comparison that are attached to the perfection are due to the difference in the function of the offices of perfection. So the difference is in the function of the offices of perfection. Okay. Hence, due to differences in function, different attributes are attached to each type of perfection. The Kamil can spontaneously give conscious experience of the realization of God to only one man and make only that man like unto him in the eternal experience of the reality. The Akmal can make many like into him in experience, whereas the Mukammil cannot can make not only any number, even all in the creation, like unto him in the experience of the eternal reality, but he can also spontaneously bestow on any number the transfiguration of their physical bodies and even make their physique appear and live an experience like unto his own physical body in the gross world, together with giving the eternal conscious experience of the big R reality. So the the three differences, I mean the, the first stage, he can give God realization experience to only one man. The second one, he can do it for many unto him in experience. Mukammil can do it for all, right? Can make many like him, whereas Mukammil cannot make any. Okay, so the difference between the second and the third is any number to all. That is the okay. So what are the three again? Kamil, Akmal, Mukammal. One is Kamil. Then Akmal can make many. So the second part is important. Which I think the second category and the first category cannot. So only the third category, which is the Mukammil, can. I'm confused. Let me check. Yeah, Mukammil. The third category of Mukammil is the only person who can even give the bodily experience to almost all of creation to the state where he is in. But I think that never happens, right? Because why would that would be a very, very gross and rare use of the divine laws. Because why would everybody get the experience of I am God state, all of creation get it at the same time, right? But the ability exists with the Mukammil, right? So now, just curious, let's see if Lud, where Lud has put Kamil, Akmil, and I'm sure you guys are also looking. So they are
Just
all in the state. Your audio is very bad today. It's coming in and out. Yeah, something you have changed. Uh, even Saleh. This is Kamil, but not Mukammil. We are missing it. We have to familiarize ourselves where we can quickly identify. No. Okay.
Paramatma. Okay. No,
Should be in
it's
seventh
somewhere here.
plane.
Sadguru Avatar, it should be somewhere there. Most perfect one, Salike Kamal
Yeah.
Akmal.
Where are you seeing that?
No, that is after this parallel line, you have the linear lines, and there is one arrow which is coming down. No? So
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
most perfect one,
Salik
liberated in
Akmal,
Karma.
Kamil, Majub Salik
Salik
Kamil,
to
then
Salik.
Mutlak, Akmal, and then Mukammil. Yeah, here it is. Kamil, Akmal, Mukammil. So supremely perfect one, most perfect one, and liberated incarnate. So Kamil is like a Jivan Mukta, but he can do duty because he can change one soul and provide him God realization. Here, Akmal is a little above that. He can give it to many. Then finally, you have Salik a Mukammil who can give it to as many and also give the bodily experience. Correct?
Yes.
Let's get back. Super irritating. Okay. Vakabila is the end of the second divine journey. In between the states of, is that where? No, no. First, I have to read the footnote for this. So let's see that. A Mukammil can make all creation God realized if he wishes. All creation means all human beings and everything that is in creation from a particle of dust to an elephant. But a Mukammil will never wish to do so because the carrying out of such a wish would mean the end of cosmic illusion, the whole creation. To put an end to cosmic illusion would amount to putting an end to the divine play. And to end the divine play would go against the very nature or characteristics of God in his original state too, described on page 161, when he remains infinitely conscious and simultaneously infinitely unconscious. So we will get to state 2 in the states of God, which is nothing but state 2 here.
beyond.
Yeah, no. It's
No,
here, beyond state, and he can go to
God in
both.
beyond.
Yeah. So one is beyond, beyond. Two is in the beyond state. So he's both conscious and unconscious. So yeah. Okay. Let's continue. No, we have to continue from here. The slide. Yeah. Bakabila is the end of the second divine journey. In between the states of Fanafila and Bakabila, at the divine junction, Mukam e Furutat, there is the state of Turiya Avastha, Fana Ma al Baka. Turiya Avastha is that state where sometimes the superconsciousness gives the experience of the I am God state, and where sometimes superconsciousness gives the experience of the I am human state of normal consciousness. This state is experienced by those who are termed Majzub Salik or Paramahamsa, and who, in this state of Turiya Avastha, sometimes experience consciously as I am my own God, and sometimes experience consciously as I am my own creature. At the divine junction, between the end of the first and the beginning of the second divine journey, the fluctuating divine experiences of divine and human are experienced alternately until the I am God state of Fanafila gradually becomes established in the state of Bakabila, where the abiding in God state is established and where man as God simultaneously, without the least effort, automatically undergoes the dual experience of God and man at one and the same time. So the divine junction is at the end of the first and the beginning of the second divine journey. And at the divine junction, you can go to both states uh, s- uh, alternately, let's say. And once you go to once you cross the divine junction, you are in the state where you can experience both simultaneously.
Yes.
As soon as the divine junction is crossed, the Majzubiyat of Fana Fila becomes established as Sulukiyat in Bakabila. The Majzub of Majzubiyat could only consciously experience infinite knowledge and power while being drowned in infinite bliss. The Salik of Sulukiyat, however, not only consciously experiences but also consciously accumulates infinite knowledge, power, and bliss, although he does not use these infinite aspects for others as kutubs of the Kutubiyat do. Okay, there is a footnote. Let's see that. Meher Baba was asked if Majzoobs are utterly unconscious of all the spheres, gross, subtle, and mental, of everything except the I am God state, then how is it they react to the physical side of life? Eating, drinking, showing preference to certain things, antipathy to others, and so on. Meher Baba replied, the Majzoob may apparently like or dislike, ask or reject, seem happy or angry. It is an automatic reflex action of which he is unconscious, like the sound of snoring is to the fast asleep man emitting it. Like the sleepwalker who is unconscious of his actions, however normal or varied they may be, the Majzub is oblivious to his body and surroundings and is conscious only of his divine state of I am God. Okay, that's a clarification. So I will just read this paragraph again. As soon as the divine junction is crossed, the Madzubiyat of Fanafila becomes established as Sulukiyat in Pakabila. The Madzub of Madzubiyat could only consciously experience infinite knowledge and power while being drowned in infinite bliss. He had no connection with the world. The Salik of Sulukiyat, however, not only consciously experiences but also consciously accumulates infinite knowledge, power, and bliss, although he does not use these infinite aspect for others as Kutubs of the Kutubiyat do. Only the Kutub work and duty.
Yes.
The end of the second divine journey leads to the third divine journey, which is the state of Kutubiyat, where living the life of God is actually experienced by those who are termed Kutubs or Sadgurus or perfect masters. The state of Kutubiyat, which follows the Sulukiyat of Makabila, is where man as God, established in the life of God in Bakabila, now, now begins to live the life of God in the state of Kutubiyat as Kutub or a Sadguru. He now not only consciously experiences as in the state of Panafila and consciously accumulates as in the state of Bakabila infinite knowledge, power, and bliss, but uses these infinite aspects in this state of Kutubiyat for those who are still in illusion. Such a man god of the state of Kutubiyat is called a perfect master, who, as man, has not only become God and established himself in God, but lives the life of God as God's individual representative in illusion. This paragraph is a good definition of Sadguru.
Yes.
Oops. Yeah. Now there is a supplement. I think we'll quickly read it if it's not a long one and wrap up after that. Yeah, 26.
You
Okay, I think we can pick it up next week. It's
okay?
Signs of Perfection. It's the Perfect Master, and it's a longish one.
Yes.
And I'm sure we'll continue on more about Perfect Master in the next week. So rather than break it up, we will take it up next week. So we have to start from 26 supplement, but I will put a marker here. Any comments
Uh,
before we wrap up?
we are going deeper and deeper to understand the level. Okay.
Yes, yes. But many
Some
questions still.
confusions have been cleared. Some new ones are popped up, which needs some more time, I think.
Yes, yes, indeed. And those of you celebrating Mahalaya Amavase, all the
Yes, yes.
best.
We are in the
Yes.
middle of that process.
Yeah,
Most
I'm
of
sure.
them have gone to
Jai Baba.
Yeah, yeah.
southern circle where there is establishment for doing tarpan and all that.
Oh, okay.
So I am at home. So I have to
Okay.
jump into a lot of work right now after this.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. I'm stopping recording.